I'm just passing on a bit of knowledge from a covering fruit tree potting on. This is a pot grown or bare root stock. Pot grown, it's already established in a pot obviously. Bare root, it needs planting out or potting up. Ordered mid-October, these came yesterday. Bare root are cheaper to buy, as you can see there, 20 quid. You can now get grow peaches in the UK better than what you could 30 odd years ago when I tried. I lost mine through leaf curl and frost. Peach leaf curl. August fruiting good for me, as our show is the first Saturday September. That's when I want all my fruit to bear fruit, ready for the show. Self-fertile as well, meaning I ain't got to go around with a pencil brush to pollinate. Grown in a pot, you can move it around, whether it's in the house or outside. Plus, I won't want mine outside. Plus in the winter I can bring it indoors. So postman dropped them off. Obviously that one is in a pot, so it's well established, as you can see. Nice dark green leaves, thick stem. Tell you got that's why them deer are obviously, because I'm already ready. Just pull him out. The only thing, if he gets root bound, you got to pot him on, but he's okay in that pot for a bit. I've used pomona fruits, New Garden quite a bit, and then I found these Carworth plants, and this is $17.99, and that's post with post. It's bloody cheap. After a couple of years, I want him to look like that. Look after them, just train them, tell them where you want to go, pinch them out. Don't know, we allot them for moons. Right, back to my bare root. This is my peach, obviously. I got a nice pot ready for him to go in. It's from Wilko. Most of them bought in from abroad. So Europe, or UK passport, getting in from Europe. But this is a chap. Right, he's got to go in that pot. Shouldn't need too much alterations going on. So let's try him out. And the only bit I've had to cut out or cut off was that bit there. And now he's got in nice and snug. Just spread the roots around, spread them about. We're going to have a decent pot with drainage. He's got a nice big hole in the middle, but that's obviously got to be covered up with something solid so it doesn't get blocked. And that's not flat, it's beveled underneath, so the water can drain out, but the hole cannot get blocked up, if that makes sense. Two things I'm going to fill in with. This is alpaca muck, and this is hamster bedding. I had from Juanetta from Shrewery. I gave their garden club a talk a couple of months ago, and knew I was into muck. I bought me 2 bags of that. There's a good one. My alpaca muck, which I've got here, just these little chaps here. So I broke it all up by hand. There's my marigolds I bunged on. Just getting these grubs out, which will have a pervert close up now. Maggots, I don't know what I mean. Nice little close up of one of them. Now just clear them off out of the road. So they got binned. So my alpaca muck went in after me hamster muck. Right, other ones on my growing medium. Just shift the clover compost, small rotted down wood chip. There's rock dust, dried shredded seaweed and spent tops on this one. All natural products, so I'm all going to break down. This is dried giant tortoise manure, spent mushroom compost, dried shredded goat muck. On the left, worm cast, dried chopped bracken and topsoil, molds if you can get it. And then there's sprinkling the sand on top of that as well. Mix all that up in the bag, upend it 4 or 5 times, mix it all up. Beautiful brew. Right, what I want next is my own compost. So I'll get my container, little container for the worms. That's a bag where all my drops are going in. So around to my bin, still got his winter coat on. Well, it's covered top and sides. So I'll pull that back as I've done there. Now I'm going to take the lid off, which I've done. If you've got worms in the lid I'm trying to get out, I ain't, so we're happy. Take the first carpet off, not many in between because of the just got rid of that cold weather. And if you look closely, there is activity on top of that. As you can see, I'm adding the chopped kitchen and garden waste weekly. Right, I want to get the stuff out the bottom, so I've gone down, say 2 inches, 2.5 inches, just scraping all the fresh stuff out, and that's what I want. The stuff that's ready just below. Don't forget, most of the worms will be on top going through their food. I've been through this lot. So let's throw it on there. So I'm basically moving that over, taking the worms out of there and putting them in here. That's the first lot out. I still ain't got enough in the bag. I want another good dollop out yet. So back to the compost bin. And I'll just move round to the next area. So that top is moved over there. And I'll just take out the chunks that are ready, as we can see there. That's a good load. So let's go through this lot. So the worms are coming out. Brandling worms, tiger worms, compost worms, different names for them. Plus you also want your egg cocoons, meaning the worms are kept happy. Keep them moist and warm, and I'll just go through everything. There's my worms I've just took out. You can't see them because I'm all underneath and they like sunlight. Turn them over so I can show you before I put them back in. Let's just add 2 bowls of garden compost. If this is going as them are spread out. If it was top dressing in raised beds, obviously I'll keep the worms in. First carpet back on. That's still a bit moist, that carpet, otherwise I'd water them. That carpet's going back on the top of him. Keep them moist as well, and you'll get worms in between them 2 layers eventually. Once you start warming up a bit. Had some good frost last week, not too much of that. Right, lid back on. Now I'm going to pull the extra coat over the top of them, which you can see there. And there's string and a bit of tape holding them on as well. That's why we've still got the winter. Right, that bag is now upended 7 or 8 times, mixing everything else up again, which is what I want. Look at that beautiful brew. So there's loads of drainage in there. You know it's good ingredients because you'll put all the stuff in there, no rubbish in. Look at that, you could eat that as it is. Beautiful. Roots are going to love that. Right, one hand, you got to hold him upright. So I'm just filling this up with the other hand, going all the way around. Pushing it down my fingernails, my fingers. Another dollop and fill him up this time. There we are. You've got to make sure he is upright, obviously. So what I'm going to do, in fact I've pulled him out slightly up because over the time this is going to drop down, so I'll pull him up a bit higher and then push down with my fingers. I'm sure my fingers have gone down the edge. What I'm doing is pushing the edge down, not that middle bit. Keeping him upright as I'm doing it. Right, now we've got a watering. Greenhouse, temperature water, still too cold. I don't want to give him a check in growth. So I've got a kettle, jug, just off tepid water. Epsom salts, I know it's a good brew. I've been reading up on this and I found out about a month ago, if you plant any fruit trees, Epsom salts, you water with them after as well. It's perfect for any, a pick-me-up for any roots. So that's what I'm doing now as well. That one is just water. So I've just done the surface, ready to go in the greenhouse. Otherwise it needs to be too heavy to carry. I'll finish off watering once he gets in. So I'm looking at both sides, from front and the sideways, to make sure he's upright. There's no stake in it as such, and he is upright, perfect. I can get away without staking him, as we'll come on to later on. Right, he's top dressed with rabbit muck. There's no strength in that manure either, meaning it ain't going to burn in the roots, same as the other manures, the alpaca and the right, now I've moved to the greenhouse because it's winter, obviously, got to protect him, same as everything else is in there. And now I can finish off watering while he's in the greenhouse. That's got the Epsom salts in, just to help the chap out. And there we are, all done. If we get the frost back again, all this lot will be covered with a newspaper. If anybody's interested in composting to make your own, just go on Amazon and just put in Amazon books, compost ready to use within a month. 12 quid, good buy, and you'll learn from it. That's it people, hope you've enjoyed it.